So, here we are once again talking about Modern Warfare 2 leaks. This has got to be probably the most leaked Call of Duty game we've ever had released to us. I mean, we've been hearing information about this game for the past like 9-10 months now, and we're still getting leaks even like 2 weeks away from launch, which is just crazy to me. It's been a few days since I last uploaded a video. I've been working on my Vanguard review and my Goodbye Vanguard and Cold War videos. I've been writing the script, doing stuff for them, so that's why I've taken a bit of time off. But today, like I said, talking about Modern Warfare 2 leaks. Some of this you might have heard, some of it you might not have. Some of it is relatively old, like a week or two old. But just before we get started with today's video, if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Obviously, Modern Warfare 2 is just around the corner. The campaign is only, I think, 9, probably 8 days away as you're watching this. I'm going to be doing a campaign series when that comes out. When the full game comes out, I'm going to be doing gold gun guides, tips and tricks, funny moments, blah, blah. Just tons of videos are going to be made on that game. So if you're excited for Modern Warfare 2, make sure you subscribe to my channel. But with that out of the way, let's get into these leaks. So all of these leaks are from the Ghost of Hope on Twitter, apart from the last one, which is Ralph's Valve. He doesn't retweet as much as the Ghost of Hope. But let's get started with the campaign DLC. So Ghost of Hope said that in 2023, we're going to be getting some kind of campaign expansion for Modern Warfare 2. I believe he said it was paid. And obviously, as well, we also have the Greatest Hits map pack. So, if you haven't heard of this, the Greatest Hits map pack is essentially all of the Modern Warfare 2 maps in a DLC pack, and also the greatest hits from all the previous Call of Duty games. So, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, whatever. All of the fan favorite maps, however many we don't know, but there's going to be a list of maps from the past in this DLC pack, and that's going to be paid for. That's going to be a paid DLC pack in 2023, and we also have a campaign DLC pack which is coming that year as well. Now, I'm not too sure personally if these are two separate map packs or if they're two different packs, but these are two things that do exist or will exist, I guess, in the future for Modern Warfare 2. Now, I've heard the rumor before that all the Modern Warfare 2 maps from the original Modern Warfare 2 anyway are going to be coming back into this game, and I'm not sure if that's in this Greatest Hits map pack or if they just plan to do that over year 1 and year 2 or whatever that may be. But yeah, essentially we're going to be getting a lot of remasters in this game, but it seems like most of the remasters is going to be year 2 stuff. So throughout year 1, we're most likely going to have our original, original new maps, maybe a couple remasters dotted around, and then year 2 we're going to be getting remakes, greatest hits, whatever. Then obviously the campaign DLC, which I believe is the first time we've ever had a campaign DLC in Call of Duty, which I really like to see. I don't like this whole continuing the story in Warzone and Spec Ops bullshit. You can't, there's not a proper story to it. You get like 1-2 minute cutscene a season and that's about it. I think an actual DLC is a better way to do it. Next up, Treyarch have had their budget approved for a 2-year cycle on their title. So if you guys didn't know, in 2023 we're not going to be getting a Call of Duty game. At least that's what is rumored to be. All the paid experiences that they Activision have said we get in 2023, that's most likely going to be our greatest hits and campaign stuff. And 2024 is when we're going to be getting Treyarch's title. Now, this leak is essentially saying that the budget has been approved, so Treyarch can also have a 2-year cycle on their Call of Duty game, the way that Modern Warfare 2 has been supported for 2 years. Now, it could definitely change, especially with this whole Microsoft Activision acquisition going on as well, and it also depends on how Modern Warfare 2 does. If that game flops in terms of money, this could be pulled back from Treyarch, but I doubt that will happen. I mean, let's be realistic here. So it seems like if Modern Warfare 2 works, and even if Treyarch's games work for a 2-year cycle, this could be the future of Call of Duty. We could be seeing one release every 2 years, and obviously that current game will get 2 years of support, which honestly, I think that's pretty much perfect. I think 3 years is probably a bit too much, especially if the current game is shit. However, 1 year is just too short. You don't really have much time to sort of cling to the game. Obviously, you can stick with it, but you don't get the support for 2+ years. So I think Call of Duty games coming out on a bi-yearly cycle is pretty much perfect, and it's nice to see they're finally doing that. This next one's quite funny, actually. We got a list of operators that are coming to Modern Warfare 2. These are a bunch of names that were found in the game files or whatever, and most of these are pretty boring. Like, you got fucking like Jeff and Connor and Bob and that kind of shit. But within those names, we have Messi, Neymar, and Pogba. So 3 very iconic football players are going to be operators in Modern Warfare 2, which I think is just hilarious in my opinion. That is so funny. Like, with Vanguard, we had like fucking Snoop Dogg and Godzilla and the Terminators. I love these kinds of crossovers, man. I think they're so fun. And something like this is unique. We've never seen something like this before. So to see Messi, Neymar, and Pogba being added to this game, I think that shit's hilarious. I think that's great. Another thing as well, prestige tokens are actually rumored to come back as well. Now, this could come back in one of 2 ways. Either one, this could be the prestige shop from Black Ops Cold War coming back in this game, and they're calling it prestige tokens instead of prestige keys, or that's what they end up being called. I'm not too sure exactly, but these tokens could work in that same way as Black Ops Cold War. Or, don't get your hopes up too much, number 2, the original prestige system could be coming back, where you go to level 55, you prestige, everything gets relocked, and you use a prestige token to carry over, let's say, the MP5. You carry that over a prestige instead of having it relocked for yourself. Now, I'm kind of interested in how this is going to work with the whole weapon platforms things, if this is the case. Because obviously you only unlock these weapons within their weapon platforms. It's not something that's tied to your seasonal or your overall level progression. You don't unlock the MP5 through that level. You unlock it through leveling up that weapon. So I'm kind of curious if you was to use a prestige token on MP5, or do you have to use it for the platform? I'm not too sure how that's going to work, but either way, that is something that could be coming back. However, we don't know anything about the leveling up, the ranking system yet, and I feel like if they were to bring back the original prestige, they would have said something by now, because they know how much people really want that to come back, and they would use that as a marketing tool, in my opinion. So I personally think it probably is the prestige shop. I'm being a bit pessimistic here, but I'm trying to keep my expectations real. I mean, look what they did with, like, Ghosts and Dead Science, that kind of shit. They don't listen, man. Now, this next one that I find really interesting that nobody, at least from what I've seen, has actually talked about this, but Treyarch is going to be designing a Warzone 2 map alongside their game for 2024. So in 2024, when their game releases, Warzone 2 is going to be getting a brand new map that is being spearheaded by Treyarch. Now, I find this one really interesting because it kind of makes me wonder if they're going back to the whole Warzone integration system they had for the original Warzone, and that has me scared, because that was the original, that was the problem with Warzone 1. They kept adding, like, 30, 40 guns every time a new game would come out, and it would just mess everything up. Obviously, it's different feeling games, even if they're within the unified engine or whatever. It's still going to feel a bit weird going from whatever engine, because bear in mind, yes, okay, so they're all going to share the same engine, but the thing is that even within the same engine, games feel completely different. Like, we've had the same engine for COD, from COD 4 all the way to Infinite Warfare, and the way that gunplay and gun handling and everything just feels compared to those two games, it's completely different, even though it's the same engine. Do you see what I'm getting at? So I still think it's going to be a bit weird. To be honest, I was kind of hoping that they would stay away from this integration thing, and they might. They might just have a Warzone 2 map. They might add a couple guns from Treyarch, their Treyarch's title, and they might just leave it at that. I'm not too sure how this is going to work, but I'm scared that they're going to do this integration BS again, and that was the main problem. Obviously, it's not a massive issue now because it's going to be its own client, so it's not going to be bloated with Modern Warfare stuff as well as Warzone, but I still think this could be a potential issue, so bear that in mind anyway. And the final thing I want to talk about for today, the UI is going to be the same. Now, this is the one I was talking about from Rouse Valve. He's the one that tweeted this. Back in like February or something, apparently we got tons of leaks talking about how the UI is going to be completely different. It's going to be, a subscription service UI sort of thing. And obviously they hired devs from Hulu or whatever to design the UI. I don't know why you do that for COD, but whatever. And apparently they have no plans to overhaul this UI to make it like a normal UI. They want to make it look like a fucking Hulu Disney Plus looking. Why? Why are we making our COD games look like subscription services? What's the fucking point? It's literally worse. You can't. That's like trying to use a Phillips screwdriver to get the screws out of your wheels. Like, what's the? It doesn't work. Like that's just completely backwards. I don't understand why they would do something like this. It doesn't make sense. And whatever, man. I mean, it's something we have to learn, I guess. We have to deal with it. It's just one of those things, one of those annoying Infinity War things where they just change it unnecessarily, and we just have to put up with it because they're too stubborn to change it. But that's going to do it for today's video. Those are all the leaks that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're looking forward to Modern Warfare 2, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.